Did I make the right choice? Did I let go of something valuable
Is
to
something
me?
even greater going to come out of
How
this?
can I get better?
How can I move forward?
How does this affect my goals?
How will this moment impact me in 5
Why
years?
can't I get this?
Why am I not improving enough?
Am I going to live a life I don't want?
What brings me joy?
So there's two parts to reflecting, and you have to take action before you can reflect on it. So you can't reflect on nothing. The more I reflected and took action, the more overall happier I became, and the more I started growing as a person is when I started reflecting and failed to understand that they have to fail to get better at stuff. And they are afraid to reflect on their past since they're afraid to look at their mistakes, and overall it's like a closed-minded mindset.
I really like what you were saying about having as a mindset, because I think reflection and having a growth mindset, like being open-minded, can kind of coexist. And I think for one to exist, the other has to be like apparent. Reflection is a good way to evaluate the progress you've made so far. So kind of taking a step back to look at everything you've done in order to take a step forward. I want to take everything I did and how I handled every situation, good or bad, and reflect on it to make it better for the next time.
I always think about like my values, or like how what I'm doing is gonna affect someone else, or like how my actions affected someone else, and reflecting can really like help you change your actions.
I know I want to do something that I'm passionate about. So I've reflected, like, what can I tie in, like, what now can I tie into what I want to do in the future?
Reflection for me has been really good to journal or to talk it out with people and not suppress the very real and valid emotions that we feel.
So putting myself in maybe a scarier situation has helped me to like maybe be less anxious or be less nervous in other circumstances.
I remember a test for pre-calculus. I was studying and I found one certain section very hard, and I struggled to study with it. But now when I reflect and look back and see that it was worth it to go for that, to that little bit of struggle to get a higher mark is worth it.
It's the ability to pause, take a break, look at what you've done and what is going on, and is, you know, the pros and cons, like does the good outweigh the bad, or vice versa, and building the habit to be able to pause even though everything's really hard and then keep going it's really important to me.
I think it's interesting how different environments and different emotions can provoke reflection at different times, and like what causes you to reflect during and what causes you to reflect after.
Yeah. I feel that like sometimes in the midst of like my stress or anxiety that I can't really trust my emotions, and so that's why reflecting during doesn't seem right for me. But I feel like there's so much power in being able to do that.
I think I reflect mostly during and after. So I think I do after when it comes to math and those kind of subjects. But if it's like in theater or sports, I mostly reflect doing it. If I get into a certain situation, I lose the ball or whatever, the next situation that comes up, I'll try to do it differently than what I did last time to get a different and better outcome.
Yeah, I do a lot of reflecting, like during and after, especially certain situations. And for me, it's a lot of just looking at sort of what went wrong and like how can I improve upon that, like when that situation pops up again, and what went right and how can I keep working to make that even better.
I associate learning with reflection and like improvement.
I'd say growth.
Humility, like being humble.
Peace, like I know I get a lot of peace from like reflecting and sort of just seeing what I can do better and knowing it's okay.
I'd say like courage and strength, because I think it takes a lot of bravery to be able to reflect, knowing that there are some things that maybe you don't want to reflect on. But I also think it's a strong skill to learn and pass.
I think for me, reflecting is hopeful, and it gives you hope for the future, and then grace, because we all deserve grace because nothing's easy, and then joy just because it's great to look back and feel accomplished.